Politics can often be a source of division and anxiety. Sometimes a refreshing oasis of neutrality and empowerment is all we need to find our voice. Joining us today is the director and founder of Be the Ones, Cate Mayer. Cate, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here with you.
So can you talk to me about what is Be the Ones?
Yeah. So Be the Ones is a nonpartisan grassroots organization that is working to build healthier communities by removing barriers to local civic participation across South Carolina and here in the Lowcountry.
Okay, what do you feel are the most pressing barriers that we're dealing with civic engagement?
Said differently, the way that I talk about our work is that we work to identify and solve civic information and participation gaps. And that civic information piece is very important. And so we know that there are systemic barriers that prevent participation. We can look at the data, we can look at the analysis, but the best way to figure out why someone doesn't participate or the information that they don't have to participate is to ask them. So we spend a lot of time in community talking to voters and non-voters, community organizations, small businesses, folks of all ages and backgrounds, to figure out what they don't have to participate. And what we consistently hear is there is an information gap, and that ranges from knowing when election dates are, knowing that you can vote early, to understanding what the role our local elected leaders play in our lives.
And now I have to ask you, technology has, been booming the past, 20 years, and I feel like we have more than ever access to this information so accessibly, but I feel like there has been now more than ever a need for, civic engagement and, political conversations. Why do you feel like that is?
Yeah, I think, before even saying that, we have to understand and address that while most of us have access to the internet and to research and to information online digitally, much of our state still doesn't have access to broadband at home or computers at home. So a lot of what we try to do is also think about folks and meet them where they are. Right now we have what we're calling our election fridge cards, which are nonpartisan cards that simply have the election dates for this November, early voting, November 7th, and then on the back is 3 ways to vote, information on voter ID, and where they can find information. And we're distributing those all over Charleston and North Charleston in places like gas stations, community centers, convenience stores, grocery stores, where folks may just need that little extra piece of information that they're not seeing online. And I think the other thing with online and digital is trusted resources that are fact-based. And I also want to emphasize that are understandable, meaning not just spitting out talking points of what a position is or a national headline, right? It's really trying to get people the information that's accessible, that's easy to understand, and that makes them think, okay, this is important, or I want to learn more about this, or now I feel empowered, encouraged, and confident to talk to my friends and family about this information as well.
And speaking of empowering, you hosted an event recently, Mingle with Your Mayoral Candidates. Absolutely incredible. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So this event, as I said, we do a lot of community engagement, and this event was born out of those conversations with community, where we've heard that while debates and forums are an extremely important tool that we have in our toolbox, for many they're inaccessible and inconvenient, right? You have to take time off work. If they're in the evening, you have to find childcare, then you have to pay for childcare. And especially with the younger folks, we hear too that they're not inspiring and they're not exciting. A lot of people would rather go to Taco Tuesday than at a local taco shop than to go to a debate or forum. They are centered on the candidates, right? The candidates give their talking points. They say their rehearsed speeches. And we really wanted to create a space where there was more opportunity and access for our community, and also bring a new event concept to Charleston where we could show folks that civic participation in voting and electoral process can be fun and exciting and joyful. So we had the only event that's happening between now and November 7th that was not a debate or forum. It intentionally invited all 16 mayoral candidates from Charleston and North Charleston, of which 14 confirmed their participation. We had 20 local organizations. They are talking about things from transit to housing to climate. We had Neighbors Village. We gave away free period products and diapers and health screenings. We had incredible food trucks and games and activities. And it really was a free family community celebration. And as important to access to our organizations and candidates it really was an opportunity to bring our community together. You know, after the last couple years where we have been so divided and so siloed.
Yeah.
You know, neighbors were talking to each other and meeting folks from North Charleston and Torreston, talking about issues that were important to them. So it was a really good gathering opportunity as well.
Yeah. Well, the future of Be the Ones is bright, and you are doing amazing work.
Thank you so much.
You can visit betheones.org to learn more and get involved. And I'm excited to see what the years have to bring for you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're back in 2 minutes.